Hello there, Mr. Kowalczyk back with another video for Business Math, and we are still in Chapter 2. This time we are in Section 6, and what we're going to continue to talk about are the various deductions that can be taken out of your paycheck. As you can see, I've already got some information underlined on there, and in a moment we are going to go over that information. But let me review a few things with you. Whenever people work at a job, they get paid a gross weekly salary. As you can see, I have that underlined in red on your screen. The gross weekly salary is the amount of money that you earn before taxes, health insurance, or anything else is taken out of your paycheck. Are there other things other than taxes and health insurance? Why, yes there is. There's union dues. Sometimes people work at companies that have unions that you can sign up for, and unions can help protect you. If something bad happens, they can help negotiate contracts, and they can really help you out. Then people can also take money out of their paycheck to donate it to different charities. I know people who even take money out of their paychecks automatically and have it put into some sort of an investment. Well, as I was saying, today we're going to be looking at gross weekly salary, but what we're going to do with it, we are going to calculate the net salary, or the net pay that a person can earn. Now, when you hear the words net pay, I'm not sure what you're thinking of, but what net pay is the amount of money that you earn after taxes and all those other deductions are taken out. Another way of saying it is net pay is your normal take-home pay. It's what you actually get to take home with you. Well, today, instead of me going through each and every one of these formulas and then teaching how to do a problem, I'm going to jump right into the problem. So please pay attention. Well, the first thing that I'll point out is that Susan White's gross weekly salary is $504. She's married and she claims 3 allowances. Well, the Social Security tax is 6.2% of the first $90,000. Let's hit the pause button real quick and look at that. As I've said already, Social Security is a tax that everybody has to pay, but once someone earns $90,000, they don't have to pay Social Security anymore. Now, I'm a teacher. I will never earn $90,000 in a year. So that means I'm always going to be paying Social Security tax. It's always going to happen. But someone like LeBron James, they're probably going to earn $90,000 in the first month. Easily, if not the first week of the year. And once he earns that much money, he can quit paying Social Security for the rest of the year. He won't have to pay it anymore. So, as we move on, we know that Social Security shows up on your pay stub as FICA. I know that was something I talked about with my classes, but yeah, when you look at your pay stub with your paycheck, you won't see the word Social Security, you'll see FICA. It's the same thing. The next sentence says the Medicare tax rate is 1.45% of your gross pay. We've learned about that. And we've also learned that the state tax rate is 2.75% of your gross pay. So once again, Social Security tax, 6.2%. Medicare tax, 1.45%. And the state tax rate, is 2.75% of your gross pay. Now, back in section 2-2, when we were learning about state taxes, we had a personal exemptions chart, $2,000 for single, $4,000 for married, and then another $2,000 for each dependent. Well, for today's problem, we're not going to mess with that, so we're good. You also read right around here that there's no local tax. Well, that's nice. That's nice. Let's continue with Susan here. Each week she pays $20. Do you see that? $20 for health insurance. $20 for health insurance. She pays $10 for union dues, and she also pays or donates $5 to United Way. So we've got a lot of information here. I've got a lot of colors. Please do your best to pay attention, and if you have to, pause or rewind this video as we go along. So we've got to use all this info to find the following. Well, first off, let me explain a few things. Sometimes with letter A, sometimes the answer is just going to be given to you. You read the paragraph and you go, oh, federal income tax is $5. And then you don't have to show any work, you just write the answer on the line and we're good. But today we don't give it to you. Today, we give you information that will help you find the answer. And what do? We use the chart. And luckily, the chart's over here on the right. So, with that being said, the first thing I want to know is, do we have the correct chart? Is she married? Yes. Yes, she is. All right. Is she paid weekly? Yeah. Look, I'm going to circle weekly in red. Why? Because over here it says weekly. Right there by the check mark. Okay? And then now what we need to know is, how much does she get paid? Well, she gets paid $504. So that means somewhere on this line, somewhere in here, we're going to find her federal income taxes. Well, she claims 3 allowances. So I find the number 3 at the top, and I scroll down and around. All right, I scroll down and around. Well, we see that it's $17. $17. That is our answer for step 1. That is our answer for step 1. So I type in $17. All right. Now, as you can see, no work has to be shown. You don't have to circle anything on your paper like I did here. All you got to do is write in $17 on the line. Next, we have step 2. And what we're trying to find here is Social Security. Now we've got to show some work. For letter A, we didn't really have to show any work, but for B, we have to show work. Well, if you look up at our formula, in order to find Social Security, you take the gross income, $504, and we're going to multiply that times 6.2%. But wait, in my class, I ask you to change that percentage to a regular decimal. Move the decimal over to the left twice. That's right, move it over to the left twice. So I do that, and I take 504 times 0.062, and I get 31,248. Well, we got to make that look like money, folks. So it's $31.25. That's right, 25 cents. Next up, we go on and start working on Medicare. With Medicare, what we've got to do once again is take that gross pay, and we're going to multiply it times the percentage for Medicare. Once again, turn it into a regular decimal. Move the decimal over twice. So it's 0.0145. 0.0145. And so now I'm going to take 504 times 0.0145 in my calculator, and I get 7.308. Well, once again, you got to do some rounding, turn it into a really nice looking dollar amount. So I'm on step number 4, and so with step number 4, I'm now trying to find state income tax. In order to find the state income tax, once again, I plug in that red number of 504, and now I'm going to multiply it. Times that percentage that's underlined for state tax rate. And I don't know if you could tell on your screen, but on my screen that color looks brown. Move the decimal over twice to turn it into a regular decimal point. Move it over twice to turn it into a regular decimal point. So I've got step 4 all set up. I've got it all set up, so now I multiply. And by multiplying it out, I get a nice even number. Put it over here on the line, and I am good through step 4. Now, there are a few other steps that I want to draw your attention to up at the top. Right here it says, hey, are there any other deductions? What are they? Well, those other deductions are the health insurance, the union dues, the United Way donations. Well, those things don't really have to be calculated. They give them to us. But we need to know them so that we can do letter E. Why? Well, because letter E is actually going to have us use a couple of different steps to find the net pay. They're going to have us use a couple of different steps to find the net pay. Well, in order to do this, I have like another step 1 almost, right? I almost have like a second step 1. So what I need to do is add up everything. I add up the $17 from A. I add in the $31.25 from letter B. I add in the $731 from C. I add in the $1386 from D. I add the $20 from health insurance. I add the $10 from my union dues. And I add the $5 from United Way. Folks, you're adding up a bunch of numbers. You've got to add them all up. Because if you don't add them up, you're not going to get the correct answer. So by adding all of those up, and I believe my math is correct here, I get $104.42. But now I got to do this last step in order to find the net pay. This last step. What I do is I take the total amount of money, once again, that Susan earns. I take the total amount that she earns, and now I subtract what I just found, that 104.42. And what do I get? $399.58. Now, some of you may be looking at this and be going, wow, there is a lot of work here. That's right, there is a lot of work. But for your homework today, I've only given you 2 of these big giant problems. So, take what you've learned here, apply it to what you're doing for your homework. And once again, if you have to rewatch the video or ask questions, please make sure you talk to Mr. K. Thank you.